I wanted to know your opinions about the statements of Ilgar Hajiyev, the former owner of Accord. Have you watched? For example, recently we spread out the audio recording of a general engaged in business. We are talking about Ilgar Abbasov, who, together with Ilgar Hajiyev, and in these recordings, we clearly see that ministers and generals are engaged in business. What can you say about them? Tural Bey, indeed, corruption in Azerbaijan has expanded to such an extent that people seem to have become accustomed to it. Of course, according to the law on the prosecutor's office, it is the direct duty of the prosecutor's office to immediately initiate an investigation into the violations of the law in this press, including corruption acts, and initiate criminal proceedings if there are evidences. I myself have repeatedly appealed to the prosecutor's office regarding important corruption facts, and there was no response to any of them. But let's be clear, not only with the prosecutor's office. In this country, all law enforcement agencies are directly part of the apparatus of repression. That is, the rule of one person is already like this. The Ministry of Internal Affairs, the State Security Service, the courts, the prosecutor's office, and all other departments of this country work to protect the power of one family. They should not be engaged in the work that is their duty by law. Therefore, yes, we have complaints and lack of trust in all these state bodies, because they do not fulfill their constitutional duty. Specifically, I have listened to Ilgar Hajiyev's previous speeches several times, but I have not watched the speech you mentioned and highlighted in the question. But this is not a secret for me. All the big business in the country, if it is not directly related to the ruling family, because the biggest business is generally owned by Pasha Holding, the ruling family. But if it is not related to Pasha Holding, the ruling family, then that business is related to ministers, generals, deputies, and at least executive hands and other high-ranking officials. Official capitalism reigns in this country. There is no ban on officials in this country from doing business. All law enforcement agencies, executives, the absolute majority of them, have their own illegal business. Even many people in the military leadership are engaged in this business. Therefore, I think that this is our common problem and how we will solve it by achieving radical changes in the country. Until the people have a say in this country, neither the prosecutor's office, nor other ministries, nor the courts will fulfill their duties. They will sit and stand at the dictates of one person. There will be no transparency in this country. As long as we do not hold elections, as long as we do not elect the government, parliament, and the president, the wishes of the people will not be taken into account, and corruption will be rampant. The nation's budget will remain empty. There will be no transparency. Therefore, dear compatriots, we must behave adequately to the situation. Our country is de facto occupied by a group. All the wealth of this country, all rights and privileges are in the hands of a small group. We should not act as if we have come to terms with the situation. We should not act as if nothing is happening.
Videolarımızı vaktinde izlemek isterseniz YouTube kanalımıza abone olun.